Hi, Taurus. Welcome to Pandora Astrology's monthly horoscope for June of 2021. Well, your birthday has come and gone, and if you haven't gotten your birthday reading, then you might feel unprepared for the year that is to come. The best way to solve that is to get a birthday reading. You can find a link for it in the YouTube description below, and that will give you a jump on this year and everything that's coming your way. Well, we've got a lot of thoughts for you this month, and there's some interesting stuff going on, particularly because Mercury is retrograde, Juno is retrograde, and there's a solar eclipse coming fairly early in the month. Hey, Julia, you want to jump in and say some things about Mercury?
Oh, sure. Well, hey there, Taurus. So Mercury starts the month off retrograde. And this is all happening in your second house. This is the house of possessions. This is the house of values. This is the house of your money. So when Mercury's retrograde, this is the planet of communication as well as mentation, how you strategize, how you think. You might be rethinking a lot of your financial strategies now, whether you're trying to expand a business, whether you're trying to get promoted at work and make more money. There might be a time where you just have to kind of rethink how you're doing things. Or it's also possible that when it comes to your finances, you might lose some receipts. Things aren't quite acting up. This might be a time of having to go over your books again too. But Mercury's going to be going direct on June 22nd, so that's going to slowly make things a lot easier. Mars, the planet of action and activity, for the first week and a half this month starts in your third house. This is the house also of communication. And it can also rule our siblings as well as cousins and neighbors. Wherever we have Mars, we can run into conflict. So you might not be getting along so well with your brothers, sisters, cousins, or the people who live near you at this time. And you also might be a bit quick on the draw with your communication, maybe being a little bit snappy. But by June 11th, Mars is going to move into your fourth house of family and home. So this is a time where you might be expending a lot of energy in your domestic world, whether that's doing projects in your apartment or your house. Since the fourth house also rules the people you live with, including family, this is a time of butting heads with them too. And then Venus, the planet of beauty, the planet of attraction, she spends the first day this month in your second house, adding a little bit of money luck. She was more there last month, but by June 2nd, she's going to go into your third house. And this is going to help because Mars being in the third house too for a good part of this month might make you a little extra snappy. But Venus will also kind of counterbalance that and add a little bit of diplomacy. This is a wonderful time for taking a little trip, whether that means spending a weekend at the beach or renting an Airbnb nearby, because the third house also rules our local surroundings.
Yes, and while we're on the topic of relationship, I want to point to that Juno, which is in your 8th house of transformation and metamorphosis. It's also a house of intimacy, psychological depth. And with Juno there, the relationship themes are even stronger, right? And it's going to have to do with the intimate pockets of your relationship. That's the financial realm and perhaps the sexual realm. And when Juno goes retrograde, it puts us into a period of relationship retrospection where, you may want to look back at the history of your relationship and ask yourself, is this a relationship in which I have been able to grow? And can I grow in this relationship now? Does my partner have room to grow? How can we grow together as a couple? Those will be some of the questions that Juno and Sagittarius will be prompting while it is retrograde. So this really, I think, comes to a head, like the Juno retrograde stuff and the Mercury retrograde stuff really comes to a head during the solar eclipse that's happening on June 10th. And that's where the sun and the moon get together with the North Node. And solar eclipses they often tend to give some kind of outward signal of what's happening. It's kind of hard to hide during a solar eclipse. What I mean by that is that you may show some behavior that is like driven by your shadow, by stuff that you've been ignoring or suppressing or repressing or just not wanting to look at. And then the fact that Mercury is here during that eclipse and that Mercury is moving into its conjunction with the sun, that creates something that we like to call Epiphany Day, which is a day when during Mercury retrograde when insights tend to happen. And so you may have some insights that are driven by bad financial behavior that are also connected with these conversations that you may be having with your partner about the finances that you share. So watch out for that. Try to get on the right side of that. If it looks like it's going to come out, just confess, get it over with, sort it out with your partner, and make sure that all the trust is placed where it should be placed. Be trustworthy, trust in your partner, or don't if that's not what you should be doing. And full disclosure is always the way to go. So then we have another moon later on in the month on the 24th. It's a full moon in Capricorn. And that falls right here in your 9th house, which is a house that sort of re-evokes some of those Sagittarian themes I was mentioning for Juno, themes of growth and expansion, also possibly travel. So the full moon in Capricorn, the full moon is generally a time of, when emotions are high. And the moon in Capricorn has a sort of a brittle quality to it because the moon in Capricorn thinks that it's important to be strong. It's important to be tough. It's important to be a provider. And it's important to work hard. But when that is a full moon, I think that this is a moon that also feels a lot of needs. And the sun understands something about that because it's placed in Cancer right now. So the sun understands the softness and nurture that the moon is needing right now, but the moon might not be having it. It's fortunate that Jupiter is there to help, and you can find out more about how this moon feels in general in the June 2021 news playlist on our YouTube channel, Pandora Astrology. But for now, I think what I just want to say to you with this placement in your 9th house is that you may be itching for freedom. You may be feeling trapped. You may be especially if you're in the role of provider, or if you have been overworking, it might be time to just relax and let a little bit of nurture come in. All right, well, that's the stuff that we had for you today. Hope you enjoyed it, Taurus. We certainly enjoyed making it for you. And if you do like our videos, please be sure to share them widely. And, subscribe to our YouTube channel. We like seeing you in our corner of the cosmos. And you can find your way over to our website, pandoraastrology.com, where you'll find the monthly forecast and your horoscope, and also our services page with readings and classes too. And until next time, we'll see you around the cosmos. Bye-bye.
Bye.